Earth 616 is the main universe of Marvel Comics, and the central reality where most Marvel stories take place. When people refer to the Marvel Universe, they are usually talking about Earth 616. It is the core timeline of the Marvel Multiverse, containing the main versions of Marvel's heroes, villains, teams, and major events. Unlike alternate realities or rebooted universes, Earth 616 follows one continuous history. Marvel uses a sliding time scale, meaning past events remain canon while time is compressed, so characters do not age normally. This allows heroes like Spider-Man, the Avengers, and the X-Men to experience decades of adventures within a relatively short period. Earth 616 contains many iconic locations, including New York City, Wakanda, Latveria, Atlantis, Genosha, Krakoa, Kunlun, and Asgard. It is also home to major groups such as the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, and the Inhumans. In this reality, advanced technology, magic, mutants, aliens, gods, and superhuman beings exist alongside ordinary humans. Most of Marvel's famous characters come from Earth 616, including Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Daredevil, and the Fantastic Four. Since they all share the same universe, their stories often connect through team-ups, crossovers, and universe-changing events. Some of Marvel's biggest events have happened in Earth 616, including Secret Wars, Infinity Gauntlet, Civil War, House of M, World War Hulk, Secret Invasion, Siege, Avengers vs. X-Men, Time Runs Out, King in Black, Judgment Day, and Blood Hunt. These events have transformed the Marvel Universe and permanently affected its history. Earth 616 has also survived numerous multiversal threats, including reality collapses, cosmic attacks, and timeline disruptions. During Secret Wars, Earth 616 collided with Earth 1610, the Ultimate Universe, during an incursion that helped destroy the multiverse before reality was eventually restored. The name Earth 616 is the official designation used to distinguish Marvel's main universe from countless alternate realities, each with its own unique number. It serves as the foundation of the Marvel Multiverse and the central timeline where Marvel's most important stories happen. Overall, Earth 616 is the definitive Marvel Universe. It is the reality that defines Marvel's history, connecting its greatest characters, teams, locations, and events into one shared continuity. Earth 199,999 is the traditional universe designation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the reality where Marvel's live-action movies and television stories primarily take place. It exists separately from Earth 616, the main Marvel Comics universe, with its own versions of characters, events, and history. Unlike Earth 616's decades of comic continuity, Earth 199,999 was created as a connected cinematic timeline where each story directly affects future events. It introduced new interpretations of Marvel's characters while building its own version of the Marvel Universe. Within the Marvel Multiverse, Earth 199,999 identifies the MCU reality. However, inside the MCU itself, this universe has also been referred to as Earth 616 by characters from other realities, creating a difference between its traditional designation and its in-universe name. The history of Earth 199,999 began with the creation of the universe and ancient beings such as the Celestials. Over time, Earth developed through hidden civilizations, alien races, mystical forces, and advanced technology. Ancient influences shaped the planet's history. The Celestials experimented on life, creating the Eternals and Deviants. Asgardians were viewed as gods by humans. Wakanda became an advanced hidden nation, and Kamartaj protected knowledge of magic and other dimensions. The modern superhero era began when Tony Stark created the Iron Man armor, inspiring the formation of the Avengers. The original team included Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye, who became Earth's main defenders against powerful threats. The Avengers faced major conflicts, including the Battle of New York, where Loki and the Chitauri invaded Earth, revealing the existence of aliens, gods, and superheroes to humanity. Later, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner created Ultron, an artificial intelligence that attempted to destroy humanity. This conflict led to the creation of Vision and changed the future of the Avengers. The greatest event in Earth 199,999's history was the war against Thanos. After collecting the 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos erased half of all life in the universe in an event known as the Blip. Years later, the Avengers used time travel to reverse the event, restore life, and defeat Thanos. After the Infinity Saga, Earth 199,999 entered the multiverse era. The existence of alternate realities became known, with organizations like the Time Variance Authority revealing countless branching timelines. The multiverse became more connected when Doctor Strange opened pathways between realities, bringing alternate versions of Spider-Man and villains villains from other universes into Earth 199,999. Other realities, such as Earth 838, also revealed that countless versions of Earth existed across the multiverse. Earth 199,999 contains important locations across Earth, space, and other dimensions, including New York City, Wakanda, Sokovia, Kamartaj, the Quantum Realm, Asgard, Nowhere, Sakaar, Titan, Vormir, the Dark Dimension, and the Mirror Dimension. Many powerful groups exist within this universe, including the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Eternals, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Defenders. These teams protect Earth, the universe, and other dimensions from different threats. Although Earth 199,999 and Earth 616 share many similar characters, their histories are different. Earth 616 follows a long comic timeline, while Earth 199,999 follows a shorter cinematic timeline where heroes emerged more recently. Overall, Earth 199,999 is one of the most important realities in the Marvel Multiverse. It is the main cinematic universe where the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and many other heroes exist, connecting stories across Earth, space, and the multiverse. While it has been called Earth 616 within MCU events, Earth 199,999 remains the traditional designation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Earth 1610, also known as the Ultimate Universe, was a Marvel alternate reality created as a modern reimagining of its most famous heroes. Unlike Earth 616, it gave characters updated origins, younger versions, and redesigned histories. The universe introduced new interpretations of Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers, while creating its own mythology. Its most important creation was Miles Morales, who became the Ultimate Spider-Man after Peter Parker's death and later joined Earth 616. Earth 1610's Avengers were reimagined as the Ultimates, a government-backed team that combined superpowers, technology, and military strategy. It also introduced a new version of Nick Fury that influenced later versions of the character. Major events shaped the universe, including Ultimatum, Ultimate Fallout, and Secret Wars, where Earth 1610 was destroyed during the collapse of the multiverse. Survivors like Miles Morales and the Maker carried parts of the Ultimate Universe into the wider Marvel Universe. Although the original Earth 1610 no longer exists, its impact remains through characters and ideas such as Miles Morales, the Ultimates, and its modern approach to Marvel storytelling. It became one of Marvel's most influential alternate realities. Earth 6160 is Marvel's new Ultimate Universe, a redesigned reality separate from Earth 616 and Earth 1610. Instead of modernizing existing heroes, it explores a world where their origins were altered and their heroic paths were prevented. Created after Ultimate Invasion, Earth 6160 was shaped by the Maker, the Earth 1610 version of Reed Richards, who used the Immortus engine to rewrite history and control the rise of heroes. After the Maker's rule, Tony Stark becomes Iron Lad and forms the Ultimates, a resistance team created to restore the heroes who were erased. The team includes new versions of Captain America, Thor, Sif, and Doom, with Reed Richards taking a different path from his usual role as Mr. Fantastic. Earth 6160 also reimagines characters like Spider-Man, where Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man later in life after his destiny was delayed. Unlike Earth 1610, which gave heroes updated origins, Earth 6160 is built around a world where heroes must be rediscovered. It is a universe where the Marvel legacy is not inherited, it must be rebuilt. Earth 2149, also known as the Marvel Zombies universe, is one of the darkest realities in the Marvel Multiverse. It is a world where a zombie infection transforms Marvel's greatest heroes and villains into superpowered undead beings. Unlike normal zombies, the infected keep their intelligence, memories, and abilities, making heroes like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, Wolverine, and the Avengers even more dangerous. The outbreak began when an infected sentry brought the virus to Earth 2149, causing the collapse of civilization as heroes became the threat they once fought against. Survivors like Black Panther and Magneto attempted to resist, but most of Earth's heroes were eventually consumed by the infection. The zombies later gained cosmic power by defeating the Silver Surfer and Galactus, becoming a threat beyond Earth. Earth 2149 is the opposite of the main Marvel universe. Instead of heroes saving the world, the heroes become the reason it falls, making it one of Marvel's most famous alternate realities. Earth 295, also known as the Age of Apocalypse universe, is one of Marvel's most famous alternate realities. It is a world where history changed after Legion accidentally killed Charles Xavier before he could create the X-Men. Without Xavier, Magneto inherited his dream of human-mutant coexistence, while Apocalypse rose to power and created a world based on survival of the strongest. His mutant empire conquered much of the planet, forcing Magneto's X-Men to fight for freedom. Earth 295 completely reshapes Marvel's heroes and villains. Magneto becomes the leader of the X-Men, Wolverine becomes the Darker Weapon X, Cyclops becomes one of Apocalypse's horsemen, and Beast becomes the villainous Dark Beast. Characters like Rogue, Jean Grey, Gambit, Nightcrawler, and Blink also take different paths shaped by Apocalypse's rule. The conflict between Apocalypse's empire and Magneto's X-Men defines this universe. With help from Bishop, who remembers the original timeline, the X-Men learn that reality itself has been altered and that Apocalypse must be defeated to restore the future. Although created as a temporary alternate timeline, Earth 295 continued to exist through events like Secret Wars and other multiverse stories. Earth 295 shows how one change in history can completely reshape Marvel. Heroes become villains, villains become heroes, and the X-Men fight not to protect the world they know, but to create a better one. Earth 10005 is the reality that contains the X-Men film universe, including the stories of the X-Men, Wolverine, Deadpool, and the wider mutant world. Its central conflict revolves around the relationship between humans and mutants born with the X gene. This universe is defined by the opposing beliefs of Professor Charles Xavier and Magneto. Xavier believes humans and mutants can coexist peacefully, while Magneto believes mutants must protect themselves from humanity. Their conflict shapes the future of mutant kind. Xavier creates the X-Men and Xavier's school for gifted youngsters to protect and guide young mutants. The team includes Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, Wolverine, and Rogue, who fight to prove mutants should not be feared. The most important figure in Earth 10005 is Wolverine. Through the Weapon X program, Logan is transformed into a living weapon with an adamantium skeleton, healing factor, and enhanced abilities. His journey from weapon to hero becomes one of the universe's defining stories. Major events include the rise of the Sentinels, the threat of the Phoenix Force, and the timeline-changing events of Days of Future Past, where Wolverine travels back in time to prevent a future where mutants are nearly extinct. The altered timeline leads to new conflicts, including the rise of Apocalypse, who seeks to reshape the world by proving only the strongest deserve to survive. The X-Men unite to stop him and protect both humans and mutants. Earth 10005 also introduces Deadpool, whose unpredictable personality and unique abilities set him apart from the rest of the mutant world. His story eventually connects this universe to the wider multiverse. The future of Earth 10005 is explored through Logan, where mutants have nearly disappeared, and Wolverine sacrifices himself to protect Laura Kinney, a young mutant connected to his legacy. Earth 10005 is a universe defined not by battles against cosmic threats, but by the struggle between fear and acceptance. It represents the ongoing fight between Xavier's dream of peace and Magneto's belief in mutant survival. Earth 96283, also known as the Raimiverse, is the universe of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy. It follows Peter Parker's journey from a teenager discovering his powers into a hero who learns the meaning of responsibility. Unlike larger Marvel realities, Earth 96283 focuses on Spider-Man's personal struggles, relationships, and sacrifices. After being bitten by a genetically altered spider, Peter gains enhanced abilities and becomes Spider-Man after learning that his actions have consequences. Peter faces enemies tied to his personal life, including Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Venom, and New Goblin. Each conflict challenges Peter's beliefs about power, revenge, and responsibility. The universe later connects to the wider multiverse through Spider-Man: No Way Home, where Earth 96283's experienced Spider-Man meets other versions of the hero. Earth 96283 is a Spider-Man story centered on humanity, sacrifice, and the idea that true heroism comes from choosing to help others. Earth 120703, also known as the Webverse, is the Marvel Multiverse designation for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe from the Amazing Spider-Man films. It follows a younger Peter Parker, whose journey is shaped by science, mystery, and personal loss. After gaining powers from a genetically altered spider, Peter becomes Spider-Man while searching for answers about his parents and their connection to Oscorp. Unlike other versions, he creates his own mechanical web shooters and relies heavily on his intelligence. Peter faces enemies such as the Lizard, Electro, and and Green Goblin, with many conflicts connected to Oscorp's experiments. His relationship with Gwen Stacy becomes central to his story, and her death becomes the defining tragedy that shapes his future. Earth 120703 later connects to the multiverse through Spider-Man No Way Home, where Peter meets other Spider-Men and begins overcoming his guilt. This universe is a story of discovery, loss, and resilience. A Spider-Man who learns to continue fighting even after experiencing his greatest failure. Earth 688, also known as Sony's Spider-Man universe, is a Marvel Multiverse reality focused on characters connected to Spider-Man mythology without Spider-Man as the main hero. Instead, it explores anti-heroes, villains, and morally complex figures. This universe includes Venom, Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter, focusing on symbiotes, experiments, destiny, and the darker side of Spider-Man's world. The story begins with Eddie Brock, who bonds with the alien symbiote Venom and becomes an anti-hero struggling between violence and protection. Other threats, including Riot and Carnage, expand the symbiote conflict. Earth 688 also follows Morbius, whose experiments transform him into a vampire-like being, Madam Web, who sees possible futures, and Kraven, a powerful hunter driven by survival. Unlike other Spider-Man realities, Earth 688 focuses on the characters around Spider-Man rather than Peter Parker himself. It is a universe about transformation, identity, and the struggle between heroism and darker instincts.